Greetings to all melanated people all around the world. It's really a joy, it's a blessing. It's an honor to be out here in nature and greeting you, knowing that I'm bringing a message of emancipation to you, a message that will set you free. Because I know this is a message speaking of our ancestors and what our ancestors have done to help us to come to our true spirituality, to come to our true identity and divinity. That's the reason why I always speak about Abdullah, Neville Goddard mentor. Abdullah being the black mystic from Ethiopia who taught Neville Goddard the law of consciousness. So I want to really discuss an experience that Neville would have had with Abdullah, where Abdullah was speaking about the history of the Sphinx and where the Sphinx come from. And if Abdullah was speaking about the history of the Sphinx, it means he was speaking about the history also of the pyramid and what the pyramid really, where the pyramid really come from and who were behind these things that are evident today in the earth, that even in this civilization that we are living here now with all the science and the technology, they just can't discover how these things were done. Okay? Now, Abdullah pointed out to Neville that when you look at the Sphinx, that the face of the Sphinx is the face of a negro. Now, anyone who would listen to Neville saying that about Abdullah and knowing that Abdullah was Neville Goddard's mentor and he was teaching him the message of self-realization and interpreting the Bible in a way that the Bible was never interpreted to black people, it tells us that the actions of Abdullah were done in a message of symbology. So it's like Abdullah could have said one thing, and you now have to take that one thing and make all the sense there is out of that one thing. No, I've never gone into studying chematology or Egyptology and so on, but there are many on the internet who's teaching chematology and so on, and Egyptology and so on, and speaking about our black history before slavery. And when you listen to them and you dovetail what they are saying with Abdullah interpreting the Bible to Neville, not as secular history or not as literal as it was interpreted to us, but psychological, showing or teaching the law of consciousness, you come to realize that our ancestors many years ago, even before the scriptures, they were teaching the law of consciousness. They were teaching to know thyself. They were teaching self-knowledge. They were teaching self-consciousness and self-revelation. They were teaching how to discover your higher self and how to be in the right frequency and vibration, because everything is energy. Which means our ancestors, they were so connected with nature and being so connected with who they are that they didn't have room or time for envy, hatred, malice, jealousy and so on. It means that they had an understanding that I would say that was even way ahead of their time, because many men today are just discovering how the mind works and how we should be aligned with nature. Many now are speaking about quantum physics and these things, but our ancestors were speaking these things in more simpler terms so long. So my brother and my sisters, when Abdullah speak about the Sphinx and how the Sphinx represent our people, he was showing us our power and our authority, that we have to look within. He was teaching us that we have to get out of idolatry. He was teaching us that we have to start believing in a God outside of ourselves. He was teaching us also that we have to get rid of the white idol that was given to us. So Abdullah teaching Neville Goddard the law of consciousness. Is Abdullah teaching us also as black people that we had a rich heritage, that something was taken from us, and that we have our right to reclaim that which was taken from us, and that it is our birthright. Teaching us that it is our birthright to take possession of our mental faculties, because he was teaching that it is our mental faculties that allow us to use our ability to create something in the world that men is finding it very hard to unravel. And Abdullah told Neville, those are the things that make him proud to be a Negro. Abdullah respect the fact that he was a Negro. He accepted it himself, knowing that he was God in flesh, knowing that he was conscious of his being, knowing that he was connected with the essence, he was connected with the source, he was connected with oneness, he was connected with peace and love, joy, happiness and justice, knowing that the universe is governed by justice, knowing that the universe is governed by certain laws. He was showing us how to align with those laws and not to fight a war like they want you to fight. Because nature is our greatest teacher and nature is our greatest weapon. If we will only align ourselves with nature and have our mind aligned with the rest of the universe, because we are out of alignment. So Abdullah was teaching Neville that the reason why Abdullah had to teach Neville instead of teaching one of his own is because our people are definitely out of alignment. Because they're not using the Sphinx and the pyramid to help them. They're not using these things as the footprint. There are many men today who are multi-millionaires or even billionaires who are saying that they're not going to leave any wealth for their children. Because why? They have already leave a footprint. So all they need is to leave the footprint in the sun. And they have to use that footprint to get on the journey and get in the right frequency. And that is what our ancestors left for us, showing us and teaching us how great a people we are and how we are to exercise our mind power by regaining our true spirituality, our true identity, knowing our divinity, knowing that we are God in flesh, knowing that anywhere the soul of our feet shall tread, that we shall go also in the physical, in person. Knowing these things and understanding these things, not just from theory, but take a man who was unemployed, a man who had no money, and see him in Barbados. And could say to him, you are already in Barbados, because he understands the laws of the universe. Such a man was among so many things that could have been a distraction to him, but he refused to make those things distraction. He refused to look at racial differences and the signs that they had up all over the place, because he was beyond that. He knew who he was. And we are to know who we are. And when we know who we are to learn to create our reality more consciously and reflect truly that we are the people who build the pyramids, and we are the people who build the Sphinx, and we are the people of the sun. Therefore, my brother and my sisters, let us align ourselves that we'll be able to see the Creator that is in us face to face, that we call the place pineal or pineal. Let's awake the pineal gland that is within us, that you will have a change of name, a change of character. Where it says in the Bible that it changed from Jacob the supplanter to Israel, and Israel meant to rule as God. So my brother and my sisters, I want to thank you very much for listening to what I am saying to you, and I want to encourage you to check out my books by checking out the link below. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. If the message resonating with you, feel free to like, comment, or feel free to share. Now with that being said, I want to give you the sign of enlightenment that has brought me to come to realize that this message is the single eye message of self-realization. In Matthew 6:22 it said that if your eye be single, your whole body will be full of light. And I'm saying to you, my brother and my sisters, when you have that experience, you will come to realize that it is the rising of the S-U-N in a S-O-N, and that it is the dawning of a new day in your life, and that the sun parallels the human imagination, and the human imagination parallels the sun. For without the sun there is no life and there is no light, and without the human imagination there isn't anything made that was made. And we are the people of the sun. Therefore, my brother and my sisters, let us remember our ancestor Abdullah and do as he instructs us to do, to use our mind power as the people of the sun to achieve our every desire. So with that being said, I want to say peace, love you, I'm out.